Here's my brand new top 10 players in the NBA list. Coming in at number 10, DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins is averaging a career high in points per game, and though his overall field goal percentage has dipped to a personal worst, he's fashioned himself into a respectable three-point shooter. The Kings are in no hurry to part ways with their all-star center, nor should they be. If not for Cousins' injuries and suspensions, Sacramento might be in the thick of the Western Conference playoff race. Number 9, James Harden. Harden's doing plenty on the court to boost his profile as well. He's averaging a career high in points, free throw attempts, rebounds, and steals, while pacing the league in minutes. Statistically speaking, Harden's never shouldered a bigger burden than he has so far this season, despite because of having Ty Lawson on his side. Why then isn't Harden higher on this list? The same reason Cousins sits below him. The cream of the crop should do more than keep his clubs afloat, as Harden has with his 13-14 Rockets. However, that Harden Houston's hanging around the playoff picture out west, despite all the internal turmoil, is a testament to Harden's otherworldly ability to be an offense unto himself. Number 8, CP3. As the season has progressed, Chris Paul has been more accurate from the field and from beyond the arc. He's also settled in on the defensive end, boosted by increased levels of health and stamina. He's playing at an MVP level right now, keeping the Clips afloat without Blake Griffin, and he's emerged as one of the league's premier point guards once again. Blake Griffin coming in at number 7. With Paul showing signs of decline, Griffin has emerged as the Clippers' best all-around player, and he's done it, ironically enough, by making his game more like Chris Paul's. For one, Griffin has emerged as one of the game's most reliable mid-range shooters. He's also registering assists on the Clippers' most field goals and turning the ball over less frequently than he ever has. The overall production is still there, so too is his stuffing of the basketballs through hoops into the faces of his foes. Number 6, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis hasn't quite torn apart the NBA during his fourth go-round as a professional. He's had a bit of trouble adjusting to head coach Alvin Gentry's new offense, and the mismatched players surrounding him on the injury-ravaged New Orleans Pelicans has made it inordinately difficult to win games on a consistent basis. But Davis has still been pretty damn good. He's still having a special season despite his failures to live up to most of the lofty expectations, but he's only going to keep getting better. Kawhi Leonard coming in at number 5. Now with the money that he has, signing a $94 million deal this past summer, and injuries are off his mind, Leonard has morphed into the full-time two-way menace that his past postseason successes portended. He's officially the fulcrum of the Spurs offense. He leads the team in points, field goal attempts, paces the entire league in three-point percentage, and has posted personal bests in rebounds and assists. Kawhi's growth into a confident superstar is the product of tireless work ethic and the best of the best all share. All those hours of sweat and hard work have helped Kawhi become something that true superstars are, consistently excellent. Number 4, Russell Westbrook. As great as Kevin Durant is, in my opinion, Kevin Durant's still the better player. Westbrook might have edged past his longtime teammate in terms of overall impact. At the very least, the two now see eye to eye, despite an overall 6-inch difference in height. Beyond the basic box scores, stats, field goal percentage, and assists, Westbrook's productivity in OKC is practically unprecedented. In other words, Westbrook has been Westbrook, but to an even greater degree. That has much to do with his superstardom, as does the controversy that his workload inspires. His drive to do more inevitably leaves less for generational talents such as Durant, not to mention all the Thunder role players who probably wouldn't mind the bite from the apple. And Westbrook's aggression isn't without his pitfalls. He leads the league in turnovers and is top 10 in offensive fouls. Number 3, LeBron James. LeBron isn't the same consistently destructive force from night to night that he was during his first stint in Cleveland and throughout his 4 years in Miami. Not that he couldn't be if he so desired. The thing is, Cleveland doesn't need LeBron to make the hardwood his domain like he used to do in years past. He has a happy Kevin Love by his side and a healthy Kyrie Irving to take more weight off his back. And frequently, it's in the best interest of the Cavs' championship hopes to limit James' workload. But just don't tell him that. Now at number 2, KD Kevin Durant. When you've climbed as high up the league's ladder as a former MVP like Kevin Durant has, historical comparisons are bound to follow. George Gervin, a slender 4-time scoring champ who's in the Hall of Fame, sees some similarities in their games. Even though some believe he's 6'11", Durant is listed as 6'9". But the point remains the same. He could distinguish himself from Dirk with a second 50-40-90 season, and already has 4 scoring titles and, well, the physical prowess to look like Dr. J. More remarkable still, he's doing all this after missing 55 games in 2014-2015 on account of persistent foot problems. Number 1 on the list of my top 10 is Steph Curry. As noted earlier in the season, Curry's carried favor from around the league, especially Jason Kidd, as the next Michael Jordan. And what better proof of superstardom is there than to be mentioned in the same breath as his airness himself? It's not just the Currys lapping the field in the scoring race at 30 points per game, though that doesn't hurt. It's not that just he's on pace to shatter his own record for three-pointers in the season, though knocking down 482 games when nobody has ever hit 300 would be more remarkable. And it's not just that Curry's Warriors could realistically break the season record for 72 wins, held by Jordan's 95-96 Chicago Bulls, which wouldn't hurt either. But what qualifies Curry as the game's brightest star is the sheer notion that his shine is attracting. He's inspired fleets of fans from coast to coast with his breathtaking exhibitions of basketball skill, and not just the ones he puts on between buzzers. His pregame shooting and dribbling routines have become hot tickets in every town and could prompt Golden State to open its doors to the public area early. Curry may not exude the same cockiness or dominance with the sort of explosive athleticism and fierce physicality that separated Michael Jordan from his peers once upon a time, but what connects the NBA's reigning MVP to its greatest star is the fire that burns within them both. Even the great Kobe Bryant stated that Curry has a serious calmness about him that is extremely deadly. That is quite some praise coming from one of the most deadliest players of all time.